All right, so now we are on episode number 5, how to create your own economy. This is all about money mindset. It's actually my favorite topic because like what we do is we help people close the gap between where they are and where they want to go. The main reason, I would say it's like 98% of the time, the reason people are not doing what they truly want to do is because they are controlled by money. Working with Bob Proctor has given me the ability to unstuck myself and also to unstuck millions of people out there that they're not living the life they want because money is the reason why they're not living. Remember when I said we help people close the gap between where they are and where they want to go? The main reason why people don't go where they want to go, it is because of money. And it doesn't matter at what level they are in their accomplishments or titles or achievements or whatnot. Trust me, there is so much more to money that needs to be understood from a mindset perspective. And the thing that you need to recognize is that people have placed the power in money. They believe money is power. And you know that because they'll constantly say things like, if I had the money, I'd take that trip. If I had the money, I would do this program. If I had the money, I would buy that house or buy that car. If I had the money, I would leave my job and I would pursue something that I enjoy more. If I had more money, I would pursue my passion. Do you see where I'm going with this? Tell me that 95% of the population has not decided on a deep mindset level that money is more powerful than they are. Another thing that you hear about money, or people are going to say money is not important. Money is not important. Look around you. I think it's pretty clear that money is very, very important. You need money to survive. Everything on this planet is, do you know what I mean? Like if you don't have money, what can you do? How can you help people? How can you help your family? How can you live the life comfortably? And we're going to go through a lot of these details just so that you understand that the way you look at money, the way you talk about money, it really needs to change quickly because it is what is sabotaging you over and over and again. And that is why your results with money is frustrating you. And understand that you're not going to learn how to remove the deep, deep, deep rooted money paradigms that your parents or family or people you grew up with that have told you about millionaires, that have told you about money, that have told you about lack and how hard it is and you have to work hard to make money and money doesn't grow on trees. All those limited beliefs that are so deep rooted inside of you, until you surface that, that's what upgrading your mindset means. Surfacing the junk, the limited beliefs that were placed in you that is now forcing you to see the world through a lens that somebody has planted in you. And the lens being your beliefs. So until you change those limited beliefs about money doesn't grow on trees, you have to work hard for money. What else is a limited belief out there about money? Millionaires have it easy. Only a few lucky people get to be millionaires. If you don't win the lottery, you'll never be a millionaire. You know, I can keep going and going. There are deep-rooted paradigms, beliefs, and they're powerful beliefs, and they are controlling the amount of money you are making daily. Let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts about money? Write them down. When I say, what are your thoughts about millionaires? Write it down. When I say, when you were growing up, what did your parents think about money? Write it down. When your parents would see salespeople, what were their thoughts about that? Because a lot of people associate salespeople with, oh, they're just hungry for money. Like write that down. Write all those things because those are the very things that are limiting you from seeing the true opportunities that are in front of you because you are seeing the world through the lenses that, well, your parents decided to, not intentionally, of course, but 97% of the population was raised by 97% of the population. So unless you were raised in the 1%, your mental environment around money is very, very different. This is a subject I wanted to talk about because people don't want to talk about money. You know, it's almost like there's this stigma attached to money. Think about it. Even growing up, I remember my parents were like, no, you don't talk about money. You don't talk about what you make. You don't, you know what I mean? There was so much about money where it was like, you're not supposed to talk about it. And it's like, it's so powerful. Like we've placed so much power in something that is just energy. It is just a piece, well, because everything on this planet is energy, but it's just a piece of paper that allows us to live the way we want to live. That's how you should see it, is that I am power and money gets to help me live any life I want. If I want private jets, if I want now for me, private jets doesn't really ring my bell, but you know, for some people it might, and to each their own, whatever it is that you desire. Like for me, traveling the world and seeing all sorts of different people, serving, I can't help people. I can't generously give if I don't have anything to give. And I want to give more, but how can I give more if I'm not making more? Ask yourself that. You are not selfish by going after more money, because to go after more money, that means you are about to circulate more money. And if you're circulating more money, you are helping a lot of people out. Remember that. And on top of that, you are also giving generously to your family, friends, people around you, the charities that you care about. You can only do that with money. But again, it requires you to change your mindset and stop saying, no, I'm comfortable. I'm good where I am. I don't need more money. Another thing that you're going to hear is people that say money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil. Money is good. But to love money is evil. Because again, if you feel the people that attach themselves to money, that's why they find a lot of unhappiness in their life. There's this unbalance and dysfunction, and they're holding to their money so tight because they're scared of losing it. But money itself is not evil. Money can do so much good. Money does a lot of good. It has helped so many people, more than you could ever realize. But again, if you see the world through your lens and you see millionaires as selfish and they don't help anybody and they don't do anything, that's all you're going to see, because that's all you're going to connect yourself to see. That's all you're going to notice. It's like, you know, buying that car and you never noticed it before, and then all of a sudden you buy the car and you notice it everywhere. Right? Your mind will only notice the things that you pay attention to. And that's the reality. So shift your mindset when it comes to money. It's a very, very powerful thing, because you want to start noticing. You want to start noticing opportunities when it comes to money. But you can't do that if your money paradigm is so deep and you have this this negative emotion towards money, like this love-hate relationship with the majority have with money, and then they wonder why they're not living the way they want to live. So what is money? What is money? Money is energy. It's simply that. It's just energy. We as human beings are energy as well. The skin, energy. Everything is energy. Everything on this planet is energy. But the difference between us and everything else on this planet is that we can control our energy. We just don't know that we can. Well, the majority don't know that they can. You are the power. So when you're in emotional, and remember, we were talking about in the episode number 3, and I think we talked a little bit about that in yesterday's episode, is that when you get emotionally involved with something, that is your vibration. That is your energy increasing. So your vibration is increasing. And that's why you're going to attract a lot of things on that frequency when you're on a high vibration. Now, when your vibration is low, so a perfect example, just so that you understand what I'm saying, is that you wake up on the wrong side of the bed. You now wake up on a low frequency. And you notice that all day long, it's things happening to you, and you don't get a parking spot, and it's just like one thing after another. It just doesn't end. You're on a low frequency. You're attracting everything. You're only seeing people that are on that same frequency. Now, when you get out of bed and you feel powerful, think of those days. You feel amazing. You can't wait to get your day started. That day, everything happens. You get your free coffee and you get a free meal and you got all kinds of things happening for you. And you're like, look at today. It's just amazing. You were on a high frequency. You were on a high frequency. So as human beings, we're able to control, though. Here's the thing. Majority of the population is either waking up, they wake up on the wrong side or the good side of bed, and they just think that they don't have control over that. But you do. When you recognize that you have control over your thoughts, and that you can control your vision and how you think and how you move forward and how you behave, you can control all of that, that every day is on a high frequency. Money is on a high frequency. Money is not on a low frequency. And you'll know that because when you're emotionally involved with debt and you're not feeling too good and you're negative and you got, oh my God, another bill and a lot of other things happening. And you're like, and you know, maybe right now you're saying, oh, this is not how it works. I'm telling you right now, you can accept and reject whatever you want. But the 1% is doing very well, because they understand that money mindset is absolutely everything. You have got to get on the same frequency as money, or you will continue to struggle with money. Okay, so money has two purposes, not two, four, two purposes. The first purpose is to live a comfortable life, living the life you want, traveling the way you want, the freedom that you want, wearing the clothes that you want. You know, I hear a lot of people, they'll say things, oh, I don't need that. You know, I'm not going to go into that Gucci store. I don't need that. I don't need to go into that. You know, I don't need to be buying that. That's a waste of money. And then, or they go and look at a price tag to determine if they're going to buy a shirt, to determine if they're going to love the shirt enough. Do not let money control you, because what happens, especially as an entrepreneur, is that now you're trying to close these big deals, and that mindset is transferring over there because you're not even willing to give yourself more. You're not even you don't even think you're worthy of more on some level. And then you're going to go into these big boardrooms or big meetings or just these big contracts or these big ideas, and you're going to go with that mindset. Oh, it's okay. I'll accept, you know, a quarter of what I'm worth. It never ends. So stop saying, I don't need that. I could live without that. I could, you know what I mean? Don't buy my coffee. Don't buy my dinner. Like, it's like, you are worthy. You are worthy. Start right now. You know, go try that beautiful car you've always wanted to, that dream vehicle, and sit in there or walk into a Porsche dealership and say, I deserve to be here. I'm trying this vehicle. And go look at those homes that are multi-million-dollar homes, and go look at them and sit there and say, I am worthy of this. Because what that does, it brings you on a much higher frequency. And that is where the money is. You start breaking through those bad money paradigms of, I'm not worthy, money's more important than me, money's more powerful than me. You remove that junk from your mind and you're replacing it with power. You're replacing it with, I am worthy. I deserve to be in this Porsche dealership. I deserve to be in this Gucci store. And if I decide to buy something, it's because I love it. And if I don't, then it has nothing to do with money. You know, I have some pieces that are very, very expensive. And then I have shoes that are $3, but they were the most cute shoes at $3. I love them. It had nothing to do with the price. Do you understand? But if the dress is hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but I love that dress, I'm going to buy that dress and I'm going to love it. I'm going to enjoy it. It's not going to be about the price tag. And then at the same time, I'm circulating money and I'm helping the community. I'm helping everybody around. And then that creates more jobs and more prosperity and more opportunity. And it keeps growing and growing and growing. And that's how you can help the community that you are in. Well, the second purpose for money is to give, is what you can do with money to help your family, what you can do with money to help the very many people around you, help give them opportunities for more. I'm sure there are a lot of associations that you wish you could show up because you love that association so much, and you would love to give them a $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 check. You would love to do stuff like that because there's so much in that, in the giving, that makes you feel so, so complete. But you can't do that if you don't start believing that you're worthy of more, make more money so that you can give, because there's so many people around you that can benefit from you having money. And there are, and the more that I'm connected and working, because we have a mastermind group with a lot of these millionaires all around the world, and I learn so much from them, and I'm recognizing that the majority do give a lot. They give a lot, and the more they give, the more they get. Here's the beauty about energy and the power of the law of attraction, is that in any area of your life, when you give, you will get back. Any area. So if you're struggling in relationships or your love life, ask yourself how much you're giving to that love life. If you're struggling a lot with money, ask how much money do you give. If you're struggling a lot with your children, how much are you giving to your children, your attention, your love? Ask yourself, because that is law. And it's such a simple way of fixing the very things that are happening in your life that are causing limitations by you giving more abundance. Give more abundance and you will receive more abundance. I want to share with you the law of compensation. Now, Bob Proctor, and it's very simple. The law of compensation is so, so easy. Number one is the need for what you do. That one's very easy. I would say that if you came up with the idea, that you could probably figure out that there are a lot of people around you that actually need it, right? But the bigger the need for it, obviously, the bigger the opportunity. Number two is the ability to do it. The ability. Work on this one, though. This one is very, very important, because number three is basically dependent on number two. But number two is the ability to do it. Become better. Do not compete with other people. Do not see what other people are doing. And even a lot of the entrepreneurs that I would work with, I'd show up at their dealership or their business, and they would constantly be talking about what others are doing. Do not spend any mental energy on competition. None at all, because it's not going to help you. Spend all the energy on your ability to show up and do things in such a unique and amazing way that nobody has ever seen before. Keep your focus on that, because number three is the difficulty in replacing you. The difficulty in replacing you. So think about it. So if your ability to do it skyrockets and you've got these amazing ways, unique ways of doing it, then the difficulty to replace you is quite up there. So if you fall in those three and recognize that those three are going to determine how much money you make, then also recognize that the ability to do it is where the money is, how you serve people. And this is why you should follow your passion. Because when you are following your passion and it comes from the heart, you are constantly drawn to it, studying it, understanding it, trying to find new ways, new efficient ways. Now you're dipping into other industries and you're starting to see certain things that they're doing that you can maybe implement in your industry and mix it up with a little bit of this and that, and you're creating something that your industry has never seen before. There is so much power in that. Do not compete. Focus on your ability to do things in such a different way. Allow that to be your motivation. If you're doing something that is exactly like everybody else, ask yourself why. Because that is probably limiting how much money you're making. You really need to go to market with something that is uniquely yours. And I'll tell you, then it'll be very difficult to replace you. And when I talk about passion, for example, here I was in the, commercial finance industry for so long, and that was not my passion. I just kind of, how many of us are swept into doing something that our family kind of expected us to do? And here I'm in accounting and I don't like numbers, and not in that way, right? The black and white. I was always a creative thinker with numbers, not the black and white kind of in the box type of thinking. And how many people get swept into doing things? And now that I'm living my passion, I don't feel like I'm working. It's almost crazy that my calendar is filled with 100% of the things that I love doing. And what happens is you're bringing a different energy to what you're doing. You're bringing a different energy, and people can feel that and they're drawn to that. And because you love what you're doing, you're constantly studying. You're constantly becoming better, stronger, investing in yourself. And you just want to get better and better and more efficient. And what also happens with that is that you're pushing positive energy out, and it'll always come back. And the positive energy I'm pushing out, for example, building these series, when I spoke to the Chambers of Commerce and we started thinking of a way to help the community, and we didn't want to attribute any like email addresses or anything like that. We didn't want to like get people where we have to start a database, or we didn't want to do any of that. Our true purpose was just send the information to help the community, because it will always come back. Now, it might not come back from the community itself or who you gave to, but it always come back from somewhere else. This is the beauty. But you only do things like this when you really enjoy it, right? Who else would spend hours doing something that they're not going to get paid in doing, right? They probably would procrastinate it and be like, maybe I'll get to it. And we're just all over it because we just enjoy it and we love it so much. And so because of that, we're like giving, and we know how this works. The law will always send us, the universe will always send us back, because we're giving. We're giving and we're going to receive. And so that's why follow your heart, follow your passion. It is extremely important, because you start giving it a different level of energy. And in that energy, you're vibrating so high. And when you're vibrating that high, people are drawn to you. Like I'm working on this massive fitness project on the side as well. And now it's like taking over because I've got investors that are involved in it. And I'm attracting these people, and I'm like, wow. And this is what can happen to you. But if every day, imagine if every day you're like, oh my God, I'm struggling. It's very difficult to stay consistent as well. And when things don't kind of go well and things kind of fall apart, you're just like, I did all that work and it fell apart. Whereas if you enjoyed the journey and you're having fun and things don't quite work out, you're like, oh, well, I'm having fun. You see, there's a big difference. But a lot of people don't live that life because of money.
Now I want to talk about the law of vibration. So the match of the frequency. Now I know that you've heard of the law of attraction, but that is a secondary law. The law of vibration is by far the primary law. And it's very important for you to understand. And if you're a major skeptic of these laws, I decided to start with this beautiful quote from someone that we very much respect. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. Okay, let these lines represent the different frequencies that you are on. Now, where you see the R, that's going to represent a lower frequency. And in this case, we have attached that lower frequency to $150,000 a year. Now, I get it. that doesn't appear to be a low frequency, but in this scenario, we're going to use this as an example that this R is the lower frequency and it equals $150,000 a year. The G frequency is on a higher frequency, and that G frequency is attached to the dream, the vision, the idea of making $800,000 a year. Now, what you must do is that you need to get on the same frequency as your dream. You must leave the R frequency. You got to leave it for good. And we'll explain a little bit more. And you need to dial into the G frequency. So here's a perfect example. Have you ever heard of dress for the job that you want? What that means is that you must start dressing, behaving, studying, learning, doing the things that the new job requires you to do before you get the job. But the mindset, that kind of mindset guarantees that job. Think about it. Every single time you will get that job if you go with that kind of mindset. Well, this is no different in this scenario. You must act, do, be, live as the person that's already making $800,000 a year before you can achieve that goal of making $800,000 a year. See, at one time I was overweight and unhealthy, and I wanted to become this athlete. And this was at 38 years old. And this is when I started my whole deep, deep mindset studies. And my goal was to achieve third place on world stage. I had to stop seeing myself as the overweight, unhealthy person. I had to disconnect myself from that person, which was on a lower vibration, and start seeing myself as the athlete that is on a much, much higher vibration, especially third place on world stage. But it inspired me, and it helped me behave and respond to life like I was already that athlete that had already won. And what happened is I did achieve third place on world stage within my first year of competitions. Another thing to note is that those that are on a lower vibration will attract and only attract others that are on that same lower vibration. And that's why when people are experiencing a lot of problems and issues and lack of money and lack of things and lots of problems, they're attracting a lot of that because they're on that same frequency. No different than the millionaires that are on the higher frequency are attracting a lot of the better ideas, attracting the better people, the better opportunities, the higher paying clients. They're attracting a lot of the better things in their life because they're on that higher frequency. So this is why we want to encourage you to focus on your dream, because your dream is on a higher frequency, and there on the higher frequency are all your amazing ideas, higher paying clients, customers, attracting the right people in your life that will help you with your vision and ideas, and you're going to feel so much more alive. But being on a lower vibration, where we're talking about the media and the chaos and the virus and all the negative stuff and the people that have no money, and you're attracting more of them telling you how they don't have money to pay for anything, and it's just going to cause more of a drain on you. So it's so important to start focusing on getting on that higher frequency.
So I hope you understand that the money you want, the freedom you want, the life you want, it's mind. It is mindset. It is the only thing stopping you from living the life that you want. It really is. And I want to help you understand that I hope this 5-day series has really helped you understand that you are a thought away from a massive breakthrough. Massive breakthrough. With Kevin as a perfect example, is that he had a record deal. And when he lost his record deal about 20 years ago, he lived with the thought for 20 years that it was too late, that he missed his chance. And what happened was he was attracting everything on that lower frequency. he went backwards, and it was getting worse and worse and worse for him. And he had highs and lows and highs and lows. When he started working with Bob Proctor made him realize that it's not too late, that he can totally win the Grammy at this stage. He can blow people away. He was one thought away. That's it, from a major breakthrough. And the moment he did that, within months, his whole life had completely changed. He was in contact with all these people, and they were in contact with him. The things that are happening in his music career right now is just blowing up. And he looks back and he's thinking, man, so he was one thought away from a massive breakthrough. So ask yourself, what thought are you emotionally involved with that is negative, that is preventing you from having your massive breakthrough? And I'm going to end it on that note. That's the only homework you need to work on, is that. Ask yourself, what thought are you getting emotionally involved with that you think is too late, or you're not good enough, not smart enough, don't have enough money, don't have this, don't have that? What thought is keeping you from living the very life that you want? Very important question. So I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I really hope that many of you have watched it, because it's such powerful information. Sometimes when things are free, we don't place much value on it. But please understand that the information I shared with you, corporations are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to get trained on this material, this very material. So this is very, very powerful information that we have shared with you. So I really hope that you recognize that this right here is truly a gift to help our community recognize that the only thing that is stopping this community from doing insane things, like bring about most amazing results, is their mind. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.